sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its pictures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you or the busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I've learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief, shadow of past actions, I grieve, but grievance never really mattered. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water, but it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
What it do, y'all? It's your humble host Sage back in the motherfucking building yet again. It's Squad Nero, season 2, episode 13, aka week 54, episode 54. Back in this thing, I got my brethren in here as always. Croco's Corner. We got Nino and T Smooth up in the building as well. We got a couple things that we can tap into real quick. It has been like a little light, but I guess a little consistent as well with the animation, as well as Spider-Man just dropping this past week. I know a couple of us, I'm guessing, have watched it so far, the 2 episodes that they dropped. We got the continuation of Solo Leveling, and then we got this new Invincible trailer, which we might as well tap into for the first go around. Do we have any other videos, or was that the only one?
That song was hot, Rob.
Appreciate that.
I just like how Squad Nero was not
Yeah,
on
like
any
that
of
song.
the videos.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was like, damn, I didn't have enough time, so I had to.
I'll edit it like I always do. I always come in clutch and
I low key
clean up your mess.
Also as well. Shout out to Pyron AMVs. That's who I got the AMV from. I'm not gonna lie, I legally downloaded it. So
you really going to put yourself on blast like that?
If you need not, I wouldn't say compensation because we're not getting paid for this, but if you need us to put YouTube at the bottom in the descriptions or something like that, please contact us. Very much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, just do it.
Oh, put it in the okay. I'll put it in the
All right, let's just go ahead and get right to this trailer before Rob keeps incriminating himself.
I had to be honest, man.
Oh, yeah, you was very honest about 15 minutes ago.
This is why I didn't want to say anything.
Yo, where the volume?
Because when I had it, hold up. Let me fix it. Should have been working. That said, keep the audio. Third screen. That's it. All right, cool. We back at it. My bad.
Kid Omni-Man is here!
He told me Nero was for all of us.
Over the last 90 days, Mark's speed has increased 65%. His endurance, 70%.
Cecil, I can never trust you with either Mark or Oliver's lives, no matter what.
Ouch.
That's so much stuff.
8 billion people counting on you.
I've been busy.
Look out for other people.
You guys are in big trouble!
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
And out of luck.
And now I say something.
You look amazing!
I don't know. Feels a little serious.
Yo, I think that was the wrong one.
I forgot this shit was coming out so damn soon. It's 4 days away now.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong one, T, because it's the one that was.
I said the TV spot. Yeah, that's the one that's up there. But then the next one was from 1 month ago. 3 months ago, season 3 teaser. Nah, the 1 month ago.
I think they put it on Twitter.
Did they drop a new Daredevil trailer too?
I thought it was some pieces they dropped for Daredevil.
What is it called? Invincible.
Oh no, but there's something else though. I think that we might could use. I'm just gonna send it.
I'm not gonna lie. This one don't look kind of hard though. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. All I ever wanted was a black grand national. Fuck being rational. Give them what they asked for. It's not enough. Solid, but it's not enough.
Let me stop that before we get copyrighted.
I was about to say, hold up, man. But no, I guess the other one I was talking about was just like a.
Oh, here we go.
Thriller. Oh, okay.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
That okay.
Yes.
That was it.
Hello teaser.
It literally
Yeah.
said January 30th.
But
that was from Invincible HQ on Twitter.
I'm telling y'all, the suspense in that trailer is crazy. Well, they didn't show the dialogue, so they just showing like the different cutscenes from the faces they were making. But we already know what happens in that scene. I'm just saying they really teasing that. They teasing that a lot this season. So I don't know. I feel like they're gonna take a different turn with it. I think you muted now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do that.
She like nigga had me searching for an 8-second clip.
I'm sending another
7 seconds quiet.
But,
7 seconds.
Wait,
silent.
hold up. Vice Cartel is at the Grammys right now? He's
Yeah, he got
allowed
it
back
down.
in the US? What? I know he's out of jail, but he's allowed back in the US now?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
He did his time.
Yeah.
Yo.
The people of Jamaica banded together to get that nigga out.
For real.
Bruh.
Bowing down the niggas.
Real general.
I just know he's screaming. His breath stank.
Who?
Kai Cenat. He just be mouth breathing. You do, bro. Like people be like, all right, bro, all right. You cool, but like
Hold on, I got one more before we get back on track. Did y'all y'all know how the Royal Rumble was yesterday?
yeah,
We seen what happened to Speed.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
What's good, Tyler Vicious?
Bruh.
Comment in the
Tyler
chat.
Vicious was good. What's good, bro?
Was good.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for stopping by. Appreciate you. We are supposed to be talking about Invincible, but we kind of got sidetracked.
Oh, here we go. Here's a clip. This joint had me rolling. I'm sitting there watching it last night.
We can't hear anything.
Pause it.
So what happened was Akira Tozawa was supposed to go out. He was entry number 8. One of the guys that got eliminated hit Tozawa over the head, so he couldn't continue on. So Speed's in the back where, like, before the wrestlers come out, they pass like the soundboard and everything where Triple H is at. Speed's in there doing his streaming thing. So he's like, yo, you're taking his place. You're going in there. Played his own theme and everything, his song.
I shall speed Some knee pads, some elbow pads, a crash helmet. Hey, he appeared in a WrestleMania dressed in a crime bottle.
And no, the last time he was in wrestling last year, he got RKO'd by Randy Orton on the announcement table.
He was going to be in the Rumble. Now he's sprinting his way to the ring. And look at how he got in the ring. That was pretty nice. And going right and looking, trying to eliminate Chad and Ray, and now trying to help Breaker eliminate Otis, which he does. So wait a minute, ISO Speed actually has an elimination in the Rumble. The dog's barking in the ring. Come on. Hell yeah, ISO Speed.
Bing.
Backflip.
Bing.
Oh my God! Breaker just about broke ISO Speed in half. One dog just killed another. He just sawed Speed in half. That's dogicide. Meanwhile, Breaker with Speed into Otis. Speed still in the match. He hasn't been. Well, now it's he's eliminated now.
Honestly, at that point, I would have been pissed. Y'all did not have no right to throw me like that. Son.
That's what he signed up for.
That spear looked kind of deadly. I ain't gonna lie.
Bruh,
Yeah.
That's the thing. Here's the thing. Wrestling is fake. It's choreography. I understand that. I get it. But the hits, the falls that they be taking is real. Like that spear, that was full on like an NFL hit. Braun Breaker was in the NFL for a short stint. That man know how to hit. That is the son of Scott Steiner.
Gorilla position is the term. The dog is dead. That's crazy.
Yeah, bruh, that man died because you could see the way, like it wasn't like a simple, you get hit and you fall. He drove him into the ground. You could see his head bounce up. I think that man caught CTE in that moment. And then to get tossed like that over the thing, the man had a giant gash on his leg when he was leaving out from the Royal Rumble when he met up with Logan Paul. But back on Invincible, 8-second clip. Thank you, D.
Are y'all excited for the new season?
Yes, I am excited.
Super excited.
And we get
the best podcast in the land.
Lord have mercy.
That was nice. I liked how you did that there. But yeah, I'm super. I feel like we asked this question, but fuck it, we can just gonna keep asking. What aspect are y'all most excited about with this new season? Is it more so a specific story element or a villain that you want to see or a fight that you want to see?
Same answer for me. Same answer. At least we've all discussed this in length, so I won't go too far. But pacing. I'm just curious I think that's going to continuously be the thing that I'm looking forward to, but also looking at the strongest for each season, just because I don't know how far they're going to go. But you know, it's a lot of stories still to tell.
I think Onslaught will be the final. Spoiler alert: Onslaught will be the final battle of the season. I'm pretty sure that's what they've been talking about. They showed them in the trailer as well. So,
you mean Conquest?
Conquest, my bad. I apologize. Yeah, okay. I was getting them mixed up. All right, what about y'all?
I would say the pacing as well. And I mean, just seeing the story develop a little bit more. I did, I'm really big on animation, so I wish it looked a little bit better, just a little bit sharper. But I mean, other than that, I feel like they're going at a pretty good pace. And I just really want to see what changes they made. Because at first, like, I hated the character of Amber. But then last season, like, a few of the changes they made to, like, the relationship, it was like, dang, like, I can actually relate to how she feels in this relationship. She almost got her head popped off and everything. So it's like, okay, like, just the story developing in certain ways. So I'm excited to see where they go with that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the pacing and the fact that we won't have a 3-4 week hiatus between 4 episodes in 4 episodes. Now, if you're giving me 8, just let it run straight through. Don't give us a break. And I'm strongly hoping that the pacing continues on. And I don't want 4 episodes of build up for 4 episodes of amazing, like for Heat. I want all Heat for the whole season.
Facts.
because you gave us like terrible pacing the first 4 episodes. Then we're on a break, and then we come back with some heat. Like it was too long of a wait. They should just played them straight through.
Have y'all ever went back and watched that season 2 back again without the break?
No.
Yeah, it's good. It's good without the break.
Yeah, it's a solid season.
It's good without the break. It's solid without the break. But my thing is, when you add that break in there, it took away the momentum. It took away the momentum.
I could give it that.
Big bit of momentum.
I'm excited for the fights in this one. I'm pretty sure, another spoiler alert, I think Nolan is going to be getting out of jail this season with Alan the Alien.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm excited to actually see that. I'm excited to see Mark versus Conquest. Who else?
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast too. Okay.
Captured by the Viltrumites as well. So that should be cool.
I'm excited to see the leader. I'm excited to see if they actually show the leader of the Viltrumites.
Oh,
I can't remember Thrag. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm curious if they will actually show him now, because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they talk about Conquest being defeated back in Viltrum and everything like that. But a lot of things to be excited about for this season. We're getting close to the end game. So just a whole lot of animated content coming out as of recently.
Yeah.
And I have no qualms against it, to be honest with you. Whether it be the anime, which is starting to heat up a little bit more, or the animated side. All right, so that's Invincible. I did have a video that I put in a private chat in StreamYard. It's a 12-minute video. It's talking about somehow Daredevil is tied in with the Defenders, possibly, and bringing back some of those characters from the actual Netflix Defenders, but obviously doing some changes to make sure the characters are a little bit better. I think most people like Jessica Jones. The Luke Cage was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And Iron Fist was even more atrocious. So they got to get back to the drawing board with those. But I sent over the YouTube video. I don't know if you want to watch it.
Yeah. I'm about to put it up there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I thought this nigga was on the phone. Why are you talking
no,
like that?
I seen side note, the Grammys is today, and Kanye and his wife showed up uninvited.
No.
And got escorted out. Because she was very, you know how they wear very
scantily clad.
It was scantily of the cladiest. You see everything. The dress, it was straight see-through. You could see everything on that woman.
Lock in, nigga.
I mean, I'm locked in. You
locked in. You locked into the Grammys.
Great, something else.
I'm just saying, it threw me off.
Oh, her Grammys outfit is actually a see-through naked suit.
Yes, it is.
This nigga Derek immediately. He wasted no time.
Yeah.
He said,
"Me and D right here, bro. Me and D.
Let me see what this. Bro, she dressed for a casting couch.
Pretty much.
Yo, that's
crazy.
Wild. Now I gotta look it up. I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to look it up.
While you look it up, I'm gonna go ahead and play. It's on Twitter. I'm gonna go ahead and
pull it up, T.
I'm not pulling it up. We're going to end up
passed. Oh, she took off the jacket. God. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. It's time to turn this off.
My mayor.
Daredevil.
Welcome back, everyone. Daredevil. Fox has been teasing some special cameos from the wider Marvel universe in Daredevil Born Again. In the Marvel social media accounts, just teased all the other Netflix Defenders characters, making everyone think we'd actually get some more Defenders cameos outside of Punisher and the other characters coming back from Daredevil Season 3 during the Netflix era. There's already a couple big Defenders Easter eggs going on in the Daredevil Born Again trailer that we'll point out. And I know there's still tons of questions about what's still canon from that era, the Netflix Defenders, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, even Punisher. Technically, he's not a Defender, but you include him when you talk about the others because he's from the Marvel Netflix era. In a surprising twist, Marvel has actually been pretty clear about what's canon and what's not canon right now. So we'll break it all down, and I'll explain what I think all these other teasers for Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist actually mean. Because they really want you to think that they're coming back, and I do think that they have a plan for actually bringing them back. All they gotta do now is tell us when they're bringing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters back. Seriously, just tell us when they're coming back. We're actually going to be getting episodes of this pretty soon, so we don't have to wait that long. I'll be doing videos week to week just like I did during the Netflix era, so be sure to subscribe to get everything if you're brand new to the channel. The other real big reminder is that in a couple days, we're supposed to get that first Fantastic Four trailer in shiny HD footage, so of course I will do all the videos for that, whatever Marvel winds up releasing, because we are in the middle of Super Bowl week. There'll be a bunch of trailers coming. But if you didn't see it, recently Charlie Cox has been doing all kinds of interviews for Daredevil Born Again. He said that they would have what he called some fun cameos during Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Now, this isn't just a Season 1 thing, though. They start filming Season 2 really soon, and they'll release that next year. So there'll be a ton of cameos during Season 2 as well, and if they do Season 3, which I think they will. Marvel's whole change behind the scenes, the way they're redoing a lot of the TV shows now, is they're planning for multiple seasons ahead of time, not waiting until like the last possible minute, so we don't have to wait 2-3 years between seasons anymore. Charlie Cox didn't say exactly which characters would be cameoing because the Marvel snipers were on him, just that there would be fun cameos. Right after he did that, one of the Marvel social accounts stated that in order to get ready for Daredevil Born Again to understand what's going on, you needed to rewatch Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Punisher from the Netflix shows, basically all the Netflix Defenders era of shows. The blanket explainer for what's still canon from all that stuff to the new stuff, according to Marvel, when Echo was about to release last year, they said it's all still canon. That's the easy explainer, like TLDR is all canon.
Up until this point, we've been a little bit cagey about what's sacred timeline, what's not sacred timeline. That was born of, frankly, a period at the studio where we were like, we have to stick the landing with Avengers.
Sure.
You know, it was another part of the company developing the Netflix stuff. We were aware of what they were doing. They were aware of what we were doing. It was a lot. It was a lot to balance anyway. You know, some time has passed. Now that we see how well integrated the stories are, we would be confident in saying it is part of the sacred time.
They're actually treating Daredevil Born Again more like Daredevil Season 4. That's meant to be the vibe, just with a different title. It's the same thing they did with X-Men 97. Basically still X-Men the Animated Series, just different title. That guy is Brad Winterbaum, the head of Marvel TV. He's the one in charge of managing all the stuff with all the TV shows. He's one of Kevin Feige's chief lieutenants now. He's the one that made the call with Kevin Feige to officially canonize everything from the Marvel Netflix era. The reason why Punisher Season 1 and Season 2 are important to Daredevil Born Again is because Punisher, in the trailers, as you see, is one of the main characters during the new season. He's also supposed to be back during Season 2 next year, and now there's talk of them doing a new Punisher revival series after this, which would also be kind of like Punisher Born Again, but effectively Punisher Season 3, for those of you that want to see them do more Punisher.
Shit, dude.
Yeah. Yo.
Pretty easy to say that he'll also be back in other TV series in the future, other movies eventually too. When it comes to the other Defenders characters like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, their shows, we've actually already seen some literal references to them in the Daredevil Born Again trailer. Luke Cage is the most obvious one. There's a huge Easter egg for him, literally and metaphorically huge, because there's a giant billboard for Harlem's Paradise in Times Square, the club from the Luke Cage series that he took over at the end of Season 2 when he started running Harlem. One of the interesting things about Luke Cage is that he ran against Kingpin for mayor when they were doing this storyline from the comics that they're adapting for Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Kingpin had been a mayor for a little while when he did this, but they could use this as a way to bring Luke Cage back if they want to, and have him run against Kingpin for mayor in a couple years. The way that Mike Coulter talked about it, he'd been booked doing other TV shows for a long time the last couple of years, but his latest one just ended and said that he'd be happy to come back to Marvel if the story is good. Them putting this giant Luke Cage Easter egg in the trailer, all this stuff, makes it sound like Marvel does plan to bring him back eventually. Why would you point people towards a big thing from the Luke Cage series if you weren't planning on invoking a lot of Luke Cage eventually? My assumption, just based on the way everything's been going behind the scenes, Luke Cage doesn't have a cameo in Season 1, but maybe we see him actually show up on screen in Season 2 briefly. Next big person is Jessica Jones coming back. This actually goes back a couple of years ago, right after they announced they were doing a new Daredevil series on Disney Plus, like right after he debuted again during the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. Originally, way back at that time, before Marvel made a ton of changes behind the scenes and totally reorganized their business model for how they make TV shows and canceled a bunch of stuff, Jessica Jones was a way bigger part of the overarching plot. Originally, Daredevil was going to be a much bigger part of the Echo series before they winnowed that down and deleted one of the episodes, and during that, he was going to be looking for Jessica Jones. We never found out why he was looking for her, only that it was meant to set up Daredevil finding her, like her actually coming back on screen during the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 1. That was when Born Again Season 1 was still 18 episodes, and they were going to do it more like a legal drama, more of like what you saw him doing in court on She-Hulk, which is less jokes. Kevin Feige decided that whole vibe for the show was complete trash, and they rebooted the reboot of Daredevil. Now we're getting the better version of that show. They removed a bunch of Daredevil stuff from Echo and then totally changed the plot for Born Again Season 1, and also sounds like removed a lot of the Jessica Jones stuff from both of those storylines. So it sounds like she's not a big part of Season 1. Maybe Matt references her a couple times, and then they wait till Season 2 to bring her back as well, too. But everything from Jessica Jones Season 1 to Season 3 are still canon to the MCU now. And at the end of Jessica Jones Season 3, the whole idea is that she kind of goes back to being a regular PI, working at Alias Investigations, only now Patsy Walker has become full comic book Hellcat. She gets thrown in prison in the Raft, where Baron Zemo is in present day. She wound up reconnecting with Luke Cage finally, and they started to deal with her PTSD from the Purple Man, David Tennant's character, still one of the best villains that Marvel has ever done so far. When she comes back, she'll probably just be helping Matt with whatever villain he's dealing with in Season 2 or Season 3, also with Kingpin, because they teased that the Kingpin story in Season 1 is going to set up something much bigger long-term, and he'll start going mad with power. He'll become a much bigger villain in the scope of the MCU. My early guess right now is that just implies that they're going to turn Kingpin into a big Defenders character, and they'll bring the Defenders back together to face him at some point. And it'll be like what they should have done for Defenders Season 1, but it'll effectively kind of be like Defenders Season 2. And they might just do that during a future season of Daredevil. One of the problems with Kingpin being the big Defenders villain, though, is that Daredevil kind of already took him down. And if he took him down on his own with his help in just his series, then why would the Defenders need to team up to face him? So I think their fix for that is that Kingpin has a much bigger plan. He's much more powerful in the present day of the MCU now. When it comes to bringing Iron Fist back, there's already actually been a pretty big Easter egg walking around in the Daredevil Born Again trailer footage. It's literally Bullseye. Way back during Daredevil Season 3, after Kingpin crushed his spine, they give him a version of Bullseye's comic book origin. So during the post-credit scene, Dr. Kenji Oyama, person in the comics who developed the method for bonding adamantium to people's skeletons, leading to Weapon X and Wolverine eventually, he's the doctor in this post-credit scene, giving Bullseye his new metal spine. Now in the comics, it's an adamantium spine, but way back when this originally aired, Marvel didn't have the rights to use adamantium because Fox still had the rights to all the X-Men stuff. So at the time in the MCU, they said that Bullseye's new spine was made from cogmium, which is from the comics, but it was made by Oracle, a company owned by Iron Fist through his Rand Corporation. So Iron Fist was responsible for Bullseye's new spine, which he's running around in, attacking Daredevil with. All that stuff is still canon right now in present day. And a lot of you have asked, though, if they have the adamantium teaser in the Captain America Brave New World trailer, does that mean that Bullseye can get his adamantium spine now? My assumption is they probably don't care about that, and they'll just let him still have his cogmium spine. It'll just stay the same. They're also supposed to be bringing back an ancient version of Iron Fist during the Black Panther series later this year, Eyes of Wakanda. Not the Danny Rand version, but an ancient version. They didn't say which one from the comics, just one from ancient history. They also just introduced the Iron Fist from the 1800s during What If Season 3. I literally did episode videos for that back in December when they aired. This kid during the Shang-Chi Western episode is meant to be Li Jun-Fan from the comics, who was Iron Fist during that era. Also, big Easter egg for Bruce Lee in real life. His name in real life was Li Jun-Fan. He just changed it to Bruce Lee when he came to America. So it's kind of them winking at the camera saying Bruce Lee became Iron Fist. Like this little kid is meant to be a version of young Bruce Lee. Finn Jones has talked about coming back in the MCU and how he wants to do a more legit version of Heroes for Hire with Luke Cage, like a totally different TV show. But even if Marvel doesn't want to give them their own show, they can still bring them back and just say that they've been doing Heroes for Hire stuff. They've been that team for the last couple years in the MCU, and people are just finding out about it now. But everyone, let me know in the comments if they're going to wait till Daredevil Born Again Season 2 or Season 3 to bring a lot of these Defenders characters back in cameos outside of Punisher. He's coming back in Season 1, but not everybody. What do you actually want their storyline to be? And do you think that they're building Kingpin up to be more of a Defenders level villain where they'll have to team up in order to take him down? One of the other options, too, is that they turn him into a bigger Spider-Man level villain, which I think that they want to do because Sony actually technically does have the rights to use Kingpin in the movies. Vincent D'Onofrio said it's kind of a weird, tricky rights situation when it comes to using Kingpin in the movies versus the TV shows. Marvel has the TV rights. They can use him on the TV shows just fine, but when it comes to the movies, they have to get Sony involved for that. I'm not expecting a Spider-Man cameo during Daredevil Born Again, but I do think we'll see Daredevil and Spider-Man team up at some point in the movies. Maybe Spider-Man 4, maybe not till Spider-Man 5, we'll see. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up this week. The Fantastic Four trailer is supposed to be coming Tuesday morning. Of course, I will do all the videos for that.
Tuesday morning?
Those also coming this week. Super Bowl trailers. Make sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that stuff because it's going to be crazy.
Tuesday morning is crazy. I thought they was dropping it during the Super Bowl.
No, I told you they dropping on the 4th.
Oh Lord. Boys, we're about to be in the golden age.
Get ahead of that Super Bowl shit because you know everybody gonna be dropping something for Super Bowl.
That's true.
It's some more Superman shit for the Super Bowl, so they probably like, yo, let's get ahead of these niggas.
We about to be in the golden age again, y'all. We're about to be in the golden age again. Oh nah, we can't even hear you.
All right. Just to I always try to mute when the video is playing. Just to kind of answer the question from the video. When would we start seeing some more of those characters if we do see some of those characters? I don't think that it would be. I think that we'll see like Punisher alone for season 1 is fine. I think that's all that you really need. Maybe if they wanted to introduce another like villain or such, they could. But I don't really feel like there's a need to introduce any Defenders members in season 1. In season 2, we might start to get a couple of them. So if they've already hinted at Luke Cage, then we may get Luke Cage in season 2, maybe Jessica Jones or Iron Fist in season 2. But I think after that, what they should do is move Kingpin into a bigger. I do agree with that. I agree with everything that he said in that. I think Kingpin should have a bigger role. If it's too tricky to do him for movies right now, that's even fine. Because I think that you do need somebody like I love Daredevil in TV shows. I don't really feel like we can get cameos of Daredevil in movies, but we don't necessarily need to have a Daredevil movie at this current point. And I think that's a good heavy hitter or like semi heavy hitter to have for the television, for the TV show. Somebody that you can just kind of count on to do well, like kind of how we maybe will look at Spider-Man for the movies, or back when Robert Downey Jr. was around, like Iron Man for the movies, or when it comes to X-Men, doing anything with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. It's kind of like a Deadpool, same thing. I think having something they need to try to get characters that fill that role for the TV show. So I think Daredevil is fine to be that role. If they want to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons worth of Daredevil, that could be something that could potentially get Marvel a little bit more stimulated on the TV show front. I do think breaking it up with a Defenders series would make logical sense. If you build Wilson Fisk up to being like a bigger bad, a more problematic bad, also somebody who could potentially have cameos. But if you could bring him up to being a bigger bad, then you would need a larger force to be able to combat him. I don't think it doesn't make sense to do Avengers, right? Like, why would you have Avengers for Kingpin? Maybe it could be something that could eventually escalate to where that would make sense, but a way just simpler and more digestible way of doing it, just had a Defenders. So I do think that it would be good to have Avengers movies, Defenders TV series. If they just got to do it right though. Like I'm not excited to see Luke Cage. I don't think anybody here is excited to see Luke Cage, given how the Netflix series went. Jessica Jones, I know that's like a 50-50 for a lot of people. Iron Fist, maybe also a little bit of a 50-50.
Mhm.
So I don't like, I want to see them be utilized in maybe a television cameo kind of sense, where if we have Daredevil, Luke Cage appears in Daredevil. If we do, I don't think Echo did well enough to have a season 2, but if they introduce another character, like they said, Punisher is possibly soon to follow up, maybe having the Luke Cage pair, like just a cameo, excuse me, of Luke Cage and a Punisher. Anything that kind of would suffice a television series that they would make around a stronger character.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great role for people like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Iron Fist is really popular. I don't know, like just the comic book character alone. I just know that whole thing is really popular for the most part. Iron Fist may get another shot at another series. Then that would just be another example if that's the case. I'm not really the most excited for that either. But I do think they need to wait at least till season 3 to give, and I mean like the end of season 3, to give us a full look at the Defenders and Daredevil. I don't really want to see them too soon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My whole thing is the as long as we can get like that first half has to be a catch up with Daredevil, with everything that's going on. They can wait to do the Defenders season 3 because we got to get through this Born Again arc. So honestly, get through the Born Again arc, and then season 3, then you could bring in the Defenders if you want to bring Michael Coulter back, Jessica Jones, and all them to reprise their roles. Just not the guy that played Iron Fist. He was terrible.
You like him?
I
think it was more so probably just a story. His story is fucking atrocious.
Outside of Daredevil and Punisher, it wasn't really like
Jessica Jones was good.
It was
the first season at least.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
That first season was cool, but everything else. All right, so I thought this was gonna be more excitement. I guess not.
But like, think about it like this: if you just kind of want an exciting point to kind of land on with it, when we got Avengers in the cinematic universe, it really opened the floodgates for a lot of strong MCU content, right? So now that we have everything back over to Disney and Marvel, us possibly introducing the Defenders, if done right, could possibly open the floodgates for the television shows as well. So you could get a lot of characters. If this goes well, you can get a lot of characters that you maybe will want to see more of. Maybe even X-Men characters. They could possibly put some lower level characters like that on the TV level. And I think that the potential is very exciting. Whether we could actually get to that point we got to wait and see.
Yes, we do. All right. We have that new animated Spider-Man. I can't remember
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. How have y'all been feeling about this? They dropped 2 episodes.
8.
We got some people online, obviously, that are upset because they did some race swapping of different characters.
It's a different universe. Shut up.
It is a different universe. Even how Spidey even gets his powers is completely different than how it happens in the comic books, if I'm not mistaken.
It doesn't matter. The core thing is he gets bit by a daggone spider.
Yeah, but it's a different universe.
Change up?
Doctor Strange has a pull up when he gets the spider, and it looks like Doctor Strange was fighting like some Venom type of thing, and it looked like that Doctor Strange wasn't even a part of that universe because he was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here." He could have been a part of the universe, and he just teleported somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, or he was multiversing or traveling through the multiverse. But
ooh, I was gonna say that. Yeah, probably it's probably Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange.
Could be. They got that outfit is so fucking cool, but it's just I've been trying to figure out what it is that really has me super excited about this show. Not a lot happened in those first 2 episodes, but in those first 2 episodes, they were able to give me an origin story. They were able to immerse me in the world that Spider-Man is living in and the characters that he frequently talks to and who's his friends, his families, the people that he cares about the most. But main thing out of all, they fucking are able to, what is the word, manifest or get the essence of what Spider-Man is in the comics and able to 1-for-1 put that in the show. I don't know if y'all felt that way, but I feel like this is probably some of the most Spider-Man content that I've seen in some time. And I'm not saying that Tom Holland doesn't give off the vibe of Spider-Man. It does, but obviously they took some differences. They made some different little changes and everything there. I think this Spider-Man is probably the best iteration so far as of recently, to me at least, outside of Miles Morales. But that's because I just like Miles Morales. How y'all feel though?
The first 2 episodes is really solid. I like the different way they went about with Doctor Strange and how Spider-Man got his powers. And you got to understand, this is a whole multiverse thing. Like, they showed, so there's similarities between both multiverses, just like the back-to-back scene of when Tom Holland's Spider-Man saw Iron Man, Robert Downey's character, Tony Stark, when he saw Tony Stark when he went into his apartment. Same scene, same way. It's just the only person that was different was Tony Stark, and it was Harry Osborn, which was really dope because it's like you shows there's similarities in these universes, but there's also differences. They're running with the multiverse theory, animated and live action, and they're doing a real good job with it. To be able to say, hey, even though this is animated, it's still canon with the MCU. So I like the fact that even at the end of episode 2, it left you with a cliffhanger, making you wanting more for episode 3 when Harry is like, I see what you did on camera, buddy. So it's going to explain a lot. Norman, Harry, Norman, you know what I mean?
You love spoiling stuff.
I'm about to say, yo, nigga T just rambling. Like, I ain't seen nothing yet. He just giving. He's like, okay, I do that now.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be our homework to watch the daggone latest episodes of stuff. Yo,
yeah.
I'll be thinking we went ahead and watched it. I'm so sorry.
Nah, I mean, we did, but we don't know if the people that's watching did.
They should have watched it already.
Damn. Y'all hear that? Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it here first.
But my whole thing is, but I didn't really spoil too much. I said, I see what you did, buddy. Like, he could have done whatever. You don't know. But yeah, like with everything that's going on for the storyline, it does leave you to imagine what they're going to do next.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to the next several episodes. I wish it would release 2 at a time instead of going now once a week. Because now it's like I'm just waiting for a 30-minute episode now.
I like that they dropped off with a bang though. 2 episodes was a lot of nice content. How about y'all though? How y'all feeling?
I have not seen it.
Oh. All right. Yeah. We was all supposed to watch it, huh?
Pretty much.
How about you, Krakow?
Yeah. So Sage, the very first thing that you said, it kind of hit me when you said that because I didn't realize it, but that is kind of the same question that popped up for me. You just kind of like I finally heard it out loud, but it was like in my head in a way before. It's like, what is it about this series that is this kind of like drawing me in so much? It's quirkier. It's it different design, kind of like that archery design to it.
It's kind of like the comics.
Yeah, it's really is. It's like kind of like just straight up out of a comic book. Maybe one that would even, a lot of people, might say would even be geared more towards like children, like the real children-y comic books. But I do agree with you guys. I like it, and I'm very interested in it. I think the pacing is a little fast, but I do think that it is being executed well. What I thought about, and I was kind of sitting here looking at it while I was listening to you guys. I think what it is it really does follow. If you look at all like the Spider-Man stuff that's come out over the years, Unlimited, Ultimate, the new animated Spider-Man, the one that came on MTV. You look at all of like the different Spider-Man that's come out in like the 2000s up until today. It just feels like the next iteration of one of those shows. Like it perfectly feels like, all right, what can a lot of those shows was kind of like, what can we do different from the last? We don't want to be anything like the last Spider-Man animated show. And so like sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, but it was always something that could kind of grab people's attention. So like, as an example, the MTV, the new the new animated Spider-Man, whatever it was called, that was on MTV. It wasn't really gravitated to very strongly. But the Drake Bell Spider-Man was kind of gravitated to a lot stronger. I feel like this, like, again, they didn't want it. When you look at the Drake Bell version versus some of those previous versions, even the 90s version, is very different from those versions. This feels like it's very different from even the Drake Bell's version, which was already different from the ones that came previously before it. So I think that part is just something that works really well with Spider-Man. Always trying to kind of make a more unique animated Spider-Man just works well. That's why I really thought that we would get a Miles Morales animated show. We did in the sense of the movies, but I thought that we would get like that would be in show form. It just happened to come in movie form. But I think that is the part that it's comforting. It's like they're not straying too much away from the formula that's been working with Spider-Man. I think the differences that they made, like some of the characters' colors and just the best friends and the different things like that they have here, is very refreshing. You don't know, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you typically, especially an old school Spider-Man fan, you typically know how the story of Peter Parker and Spider-Man goes. With this, you really don't. There's some names that you're familiar with, but there's so many elements that's just very different as well from what you traditionally know, that it gives you a fresh spin on the character to where it's something to be excited about. I mean, when you talk about doing a Spider-Man origin and all of that, it's like, how many times have you seen that? It kind of goes to the point that James Gunn makes on DC, little side tangent, but one of the things that he says is you've already seen the origin of this character 1,000 times. I'm not doing another movie or series with that origin story. And this, you get that origin story, but again, you don't really know what to expect. So I'm very much enjoying that, even though it's very unique. Nino, I know you said you didn't see it yet. It's very different. It's not a traditional Spider-Man series that, the story, the plot, the animation design, the character design, everything is very different. I was at the first episode, I was kind of like turned off. I didn't really need to be turned off. I just was being stubborn. Yeah. So just really try and that's for anybody that hasn't seen it, that's listening as well. Just really try to have patience, because the uniqueness of it is something that I think will be able to draw you in. But I like it. I really do. I really have enjoyed it so far, and I am looking forward to more.
Real quick, just like Croco was saying, I'm sorry, there's new characters in there. We already know names such as, and I'm just gonna drop this in there, Amadeus Cho, which was introduced in this series. So, like Niall was saying, this story is a completely new and refreshing story, a new take on the Spider-Man series. We don't even know if Amadeus is going to get his powers or if he's going to have a different type of background. We don't know how the Kirk Connors thing. I'm guessing we all know where the end goal is.
Mm-hmm.
The fun thing is we don't know all of the things in the middle of it. And I think one thing that I'm pretty sure it was Nino that you talked about previously in Spider-Man joints, you want Spider-Man to be more of a nerd. You want to see more of that aspect where he's into his sciences or his maths and really tapping into that. This series really does a good job of doing that without it being boring, without it actually feeling like a test or you're in school sitting here watching the lecture or anything like that. Actually doing it in an innovative way, using it to push forward the plot. And then you see they flesh out more of the dichotomy between Peter Parker and Spider-Man, the dilemma that Peter Parker has with being Spider-Man and the dilemma Spider-Man has with being Peter Parker. There's two dilemmas that he has to deal with, type of thing. And they interweave that perfectly. I'm not going to lie. Where you see that he's letting his friends down or letting people down that's close to him because he's deciding he has to be Peter Parker or Spider-Man. He has to save niggas and everything like that. I think you would really like it, though.
I'm gonna tap into it.
Yes, sir. They got two joints that you could. They're not that long either. What, like 28
really
minutes?
quick.
30 minutes. 30 minute episodes.
30 minutes.
Side note: De'Aaron Fox is going to the Spurs. Zach LaVine's going back to the Kings.
Okay.
What about Chris Paul?
Chris Paul is
I was being so serious, bro.
Nobody's worried about Chris Paul. Chris Paul, if anything, is going to help De'Aaron
going
Fox.
back to the Kings.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, he was never with the Kings.
He was with the Kings first.
No, he
Zach
wasn't.
LaVine?
No,
he was
wasn't.
with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, that is right. I thought he was with the Kings first.
Yeah, you bugging. Zach LaVine on the Kings, that's fucking disgusting. I wanted the Lakers to pick him up, but we're not even going to talk about NBA trades because they're going fucking... Niggas was talking about all week how the ratings and the viewership was down.
Oh, it has been. They about to be up, though.
What's the...
Yeah,
what's
I think these moves are...
Not Adam Silver. What's the nigga name?
Which one? Who?
The new one? Not Adam Silver. Yeah.
That is him.
Adam Silver.
Yeah,
Adam Silver?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that was the older one. All right,
no, that's David Stern.
That's David Stern, the old nigga.
He passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree, though, D. I think that the shakeups is going it's going to help bring more ratings. That's really the part that I think is the biggest one.
Do you think
they did this for the NBA?
I was saying, yeah, I'm gonna definitely check this show out. But when you mentioned Amadeus Cho,
yes,
you think the MCU could take this direction? Because I know he appears after Secret Wars.
It could be interesting. Are they doing the same thing that DC is doing, where the person who they introduce as the voice actor can potentially show up in a live action film?
I don't think so. James Gunn just doing that because he's doing that for video games, and
that is one thing that I do think he should. I do think we need to see more of that. We need to see them try to experiment with more of that. If the person fits, because look, you hire them once, you're knocking out some things for them on the animated side. They may never come back to the animated side, but they may be able to transition well over into the live action side.
And you know who I thought that would work well for? The dude that played, I think his name was Starkiller in The Force Unleashed for Star Wars.
Okay.
Like they had him do the voice acting and animation. I was like, yo, like this game is like a hit. Why would they not make a movie around, like this character?
That character, I agree.
Or bring him into that. I thought that would really work, having him in this in there. That was really interesting. But yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, Rob, I was saying because I know Amadeus Cho shows up after Secret Wars.
Oh, so really?
Maybe he in the comics he does, and it's like maybe he could replace Hulk, but I mean, even though we got Hulk's son, it's like maybe they might bring him before. But I mean, at that point, it's like, damn, everybody turned into a Hulk,
I'm also liking they're really tapping into the essence of the comics, because now you're starting to see it's just ancillary. I'm guessing how James Gunn is treating DC, where I'll give him this. In the Superman movie, it seems like all of these characters are just going to be intertwined within his actual movie, which I'm pretty sure is most of the time how comics would go. You have the main superhero, obviously, and then you'll have some different superheroes that they might talk to and ask advice for, ask help for, and taking down the bad guy or figuring some stuff out. All of this jazz. And I think this show is taking stuff from James Gunn and what he's trying to do with the DC universe and trying to implement that with the Marvel, or at least for this show. Or they're just dropping characters. You like, when they said his name, I was like, Amadeus Cho? I was like, that's cold.
Yeah,
like,
and
we've been waiting to see this.
It could just be, let's just try to introduce more people. We know everybody isn't like us that's an MCU fan. There's people who are just strictly Marvel fans from the MCU as well. So they could just, like, to your point, Sage, they could just be like, let's just get people more acquainted with some of these characters so they could be a fan of them before we ever even consider anything live action. Yeah.
All right. We're going to end it out real quick with just a quick Solo Leveling synopsis. Last episode, some heat. I gotta make sure I gotta watch Sakamoto Days and Dragon Ball fucking Daima too. I'm pretty sure they're still dropping episodes.
Sakamoto Days, this last episode.
Yeah, Sakamoto Days is going crazy. Solo Leveling though, since we didn't talk about that last week. Solo Leveling been cooking.
Still cooking.
And this next episode that's gonna come out next week, good Lord have mercy. I'm curious. I know they talked in that part of the series. Did they talk for that long? Or did niggas talk in the manhwa? Did him and the big mage talk for a very? I know they did talk before.
In the manhwa, yeah, they talk for so the mage speaks through the orcs. Then pretty much the episode laid off where you see the mage, but they didn't really say anything. But so this next episode will be them talking for at least half of it. I feel like Jin Woo's going off him at the end of this in the next episode just to speed things up. But that whole episode is going to be them talking and them fighting. I don't see them going an episode and a half with this fight. I see it just being like maybe 10 minutes. Of like straight fire, but
wait, what do you mean the mage?
Solo Leveling.
Yeah, where they're at. They're in that A-rank dungeon. And remember the orcs come out and they transport them to the mage.
They moving with this shit.
Yeah, they are. I love it too.
Yo, but to Steve's point though, if we started with that during last episode, and this next episode doesn't conclude it and it goes into a third episode, where does that put us on for the season?
Let me check.
How many episodes are we getting this season?
We're getting the same amount, if I'm not mistaken, as last season. Hold on real quick.
We're not getting a Jeju Island if it's going to be like this.
Nah, it's going to be right before. He's spoiler alert. He is going to save his mom by the end of this season.
That's how they're going to end it off.
Yeah. After he beats our Baron, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Demon King.
Yeah. Because that's when he's going to meet Homegirl.
Yep. Or he already met her.
Not yet. He hasn't met her yet. He didn't get the 480
you're talking about Homegirl in that.
He hasn't met. Place. Yeah, before he he didn't meet her yet. That's all I was saying.
It's good. It's just good.
Yeah,
it's good. Like I'm mad at the pacing because I just want to see more, but I'm not like mad at the pacing for the pace that the series is going. Just overall, like it's fine.
How many episodes has it been?
5, 6?
5.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've already encapsulated chapter 46 all the way to chapter 71 so far of what they've done.
It's like the pace. There's no issue with the actual pacing. I'm just mad that like
40 chapters. No way.
They're probably doing more than that. How many? They had 12 episodes in the first one. So if we're at 6 right now, we're halfway through.
So
Good God almighty.
What is that, like 60, 70, 80 for the season?
They did 45 chapters for the first season. They're already at 46. What is that? 71.
And we halfway there.
Yeah.
So like maybe the better part of 70 on the season.
Yeah,
that's
That'll
if
be
they
more than
slow
70.
down.
Because I feel like they're gonna leave it off with his mom. Yeah, definitely leave it off with his
That was-
mom waking up, and
Mhm.
then it's gonna be like, yo, these ants, my nigga.
What chapter was that with his mom?
With his mom?
Let me look it up real quick.
I got you.
And like you said, that was right before the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he was like,
right. It's more than 70. You're right. It's more than 70. It's they gonna get through a lot chapter wise.
She woke up in chapter 89.
Yeah.
89. Yep, we're only fucking.
We 2 episodes away from that.
Well, hold on. That's not bad. That's not bad.
2 episodes.
Because you said they get how many?
He still has to take out the dungeon too.
Yeah,
he still has to do that.
So we about to get a lot of action.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Which is gonna make it fine.
They're gonna
that
speed
if
through
it
a lot
end
of
with
it,
him
though.
with his mom. If it end with him with his mom, that's fine because everything that you would have got before would have just been straight fighting.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna start to build up the Jeju too as well. Like they're gonna show sung after he saved his mom, doing what he's doing, and then show the guilds coming up to him. Hey yo, we need your assistance. Boom, movie.
So do you think
$100 million
that,
movie? Huh?
Do you think before that they'll show the like the previous teams on the island?
I think
You
so.
think they'll show that in the season?
I think they'll show off a cliffhanger right before he decides, and then ends off of him deciding. Yeah, I'll do it.
Dog,
Boom.
this is gonna be a great season. This is gonna be a
You
great
think they're
season.
gonna? You think they're gonna show that, Rob? With like,
I think they could show a little bit, yeah, because I'm pretty sure. How did
they got to do that training too. Remember, he was fighting against the S rank dude from Japan. They got that sparring session, and then it's like when he doesn't go to Jeju Island, they lose a couple people. The S rank nigga from Japan died at that point.
Yeah,
it's a lot before you get there.
Yeah.
I think that because I think they sent a couple teams, right? It was a couple teams before the fire dude was sent, wasn't it?
No, they were those were the other teams to distract to get the ants out of the cave, and then the fire dude was sent in to go get the queen.
Gotcha.
Do you think they'll show any of that during the season?
It might be pushing it. It might show them talking because I can't.
I feel
was the fire dude already there, and Sung
was already
Jin-woo still didn't accept it.
Yeah, Sung Jin-woo came at the last second when he seen like on TV and shit, and he just like swapped places with a shadow soldier that he had. And that's when everybody was like, that's when he was like, yo, turn your cameras off. And niggas was like, yo, this nigga just cleared all these ants and did all of this shit. But I feel like they're gonna try to up the animation for this. So they're gonna be like, yo, Jeju Island animation gotta be on some Demon Slayer level.
It's a movie.
Which is a movie. That translates to it's gonna be a movie.
Yeah, because Jeju Island itself I'm not even gonna lie, that's probably like a 2.5 hour movie. 2 hour movie at least. When they cut out a lot of shit, he's gonna be doing a lot.
If they really flesh out, now think about it. If they really flesh out the fights with that movie style and a movie budget, good. The animation is already crazy.
It's already
slap the movie budget on there.
Yo, did the animation not get better from season 1?
It did.
It did.
I think that
they're leveling up. I'm telling you, niggas, bro.
The episode with the bear and the elf, and then honestly, this episode, even just the orc when he was fighting against the orcs, was clean. I was like, this is actually really clean. So I mean, like, and that's what I was saying. And like, I don't know whether it was last episode or the episode before, but like, they do so well with the littlest of element in the show that it's like when you get to something like Jeju Island, what are you like? They really gonna polish everything. Like I'm saying, like the fire going, like just if like explosions and fire and little things like that itself will look so well done that you're gonna be like, this is like you said, whoever said the like Demon Slayer level. It'll be like that. It'll seriously be like that, where everything feels like art.
Because even when last episode when they cleared the dungeon when he was going in and the fire dude led and he cleared like the path with his fire, I'm like, yo, this is a big step up from season 1's animation. And they're gonna want to, I feel like they're gonna really flesh out these fights too, because like leading up to Jeju Island, everybody is sparring, everybody's training, like doing shit. Then when you get to the island, everybody powers on display.
Yep.
Yeah, so this shit gonna be crazy.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited. I hate how long you think they're gonna make us wait. If they're doing all of that, if we have the expectation that it's gonna be
Solo Leveling came out last year, didn't it?
But a movie.
Yep. But it'll
Nigga,
probably,
you said 2 years.
2 years.
Earliest, I'll probably say late this year, to be honest with you.
For a movie?
If they're
I don't know if
already,
they're
not.
It took them what? How long did it take them with this season? It's not that much content as well. They already have the animation. They have.
But
what I'm trying to get at is
movies is different from TV shows, though.
I understand, but this company specifically, they have had everything lined up so perfectly this whole entire time. The reason why they were able to release season 2 so soon after they already released season 1 is because they had everything. They had everything lined up exactly how it's supposed to, which leads me to believe this ain't their first rodeo. 1 and 2, these niggas is prepared for all possibilities to maximize their income, to maximize the money that this series produces. So we talking about season 2, they might have already started shooting this shit for season 3 or the movie if they do the movie route.
Because season 1 came out and then it was like, yo, Soul Leveling season 2, and it's like, damn.
Teaser trailer already like a week after the final episode of that shit dropped. Like we've already been fucking recording this shit. If they've done that for season 1 to season 2, plus
it's just it's
a lot easier because the story is completed. A lot of these animation studios will have to do like a JJK or something like that. They would have to wait for all of these series, or even the animation studios that did Bleach and Naruto back then. That's where we got the fill and everything. The ball is in their court. They got all the material they could possibly ask for, and then some. So,
okay, you just mentioned JJK. JJK's done. Well, you're in the Cullen games. What we're supposed to be getting this year?
Yeah.
With everything done now, how soon you think we'll get to the end of JJK animated?
I believe it's a different studio, isn't it?
Mappa.
Mappa? Oh, Mappa. No. It wouldn't be the same team, though, I'm guessing. I'm guessing they have different teams for different things. For whatever reason, I don't know if Solo Leveling, if the creators dictated a specific work regimen, how they're going to do it. For whatever reason, this is the best that I've seen Mappa put some shit together. JJK kind of came through somewhat quickly, but this Solo Leveling shit, this shit was quick as fuck. I was at least expecting a whole. When did the first season of Solo Leveling drop?
It came out last year, January.
Last year.
That's like, bruh. This is unheard
came
of.
out a year later. They're like, yo,
that's
teaser trailer. Next season come out in a year. So it's like y'all niggas was damn near. Y'all put out season 1, and then I guess they have faith in it too. They greenlit that shit easy.
They already knew that shit was gonna be heat. It was like
A1 Pictures is the studio.
A1 Pictures.
Yep. It was founded by X Sunrise.
It didn't even take a whole. They technically released it 3 days earlier than a full year. So they technically were.
It's a subsidiary. It's a subsidiary of Aniplex.
Oh, Aniplex.
Yeah.
Whatever, they got their ducks in a row.
Yeah, we about to see a Netflix documentary about the labor.
Yeah, either that or they fucking slaving these niggas.
So They gonna be
And-
like, it's gonna be in a textbook somewhere. Like, you know what the animators is solo leveling went through. They kept them chained in the basement just to get that content out.
Working, fuck it.
Yo, we gonna
18
get that
hours a
movie
day.
before GTA 6.
Probably.
Which is wild, but I can honestly
Probably.
see that.
We finna get Soul 11 season 1 and 2 and a movie
And 3.
and a teaser for trailer for season 3 before GTA 6 that was announced last year.
Mm-hmm.
These niggas is going
Wild.
crazy. Imagine we had the same work laws as they do over there.
Yeah, niggas would have been marching for real. 40 is my max. 40 hours a week is my max, nigga.
They'd be like 40. What's 40 to this 80?
Times
that's
that
before
by 2.
overtime.
Times that by 2. And you think you getting time and a half for overtime? Nigga.
Oh,
Regular time.
And they giving the overtime? Yeah, niggas finna march.
Woo.
Nah, man.
That would
All
be
right.
crazy though if it's the end of the year turnaround.
Right? I'm curious, man. They probably gonna announce it after the season. I'm pretty sure they're getting better numbers than they're getting in season 1.
Yo,
Yeah.
but like not even being funny. Like, let's take both of y'all points, like both you and T's point. Even if it's not the end of the year, right? If they turned around and said next spring, that's still like
quick as shit.
Still
That's
good,
quick.
nigga.
That's
Still.
quicker than damn near Demon
been a
Slayer,
lot.
ain't it?
It's been almost every series I could think of.
Like, nigga.
I wouldn't even mind that because it's like, yo, the second season came around quick and y'all delivering on animation and action. If y'all taking your time for season 3 and it's getting crazier, come on.
What type of tumultuous shit are you putting your workers through?
They ain't even gonna have fingers by the time.
And it gotta be worth it because these niggas is dropping heat under these conditions. Heat.
Niggas working with a gun to their head.
For real.
Yeah.
Draw, bitch.
Jeez. Man, oh man. But yeah, like we've been saying the past couple of weeks, this year was kind of slow, obviously, the holidays and everything like that late last year as well. But now you're starting to see everything is picking up. Invincible is dropping this week, if I'm not mistaken. We have 4 days left. We have the new Fantastic Four trailer dropping Tuesday. I'm pretty sure one of these days we will come into the StreamYard to the drawing board and have a quick video to talk about either the trailer and or the Invincible first episode.
First
I
3
just know
episodes.
first. Oh, they're dropping the first 3.
Yes.
We might as well wait till next Sunday for
Stage
that
like,
one.
bro.
We can talk about Fantastic Four though. We can at least talk about.
we could do that during the
review.
week.
Right.
We could do a review of Fantastic Four, but
we gonna need
for
time for the episode.
Yeah. Those 3, we literally want like that. Next week's episode is just gonna be about that.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like an
literally
hour
just
long.
all
Too.
solo leveling.
That shit.
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes per episode. So that's a movie worth of.
I love when they do that.
It's literally like we literally basically gonna watch a movie. This weekend, and there's gonna be enough to talk about from that for the whole episode.
We got so much content. You can tell on the smile on my face, y'all. I'm so
see,
happy.
The way you lit up, you said 3.
Nigga.
Right.
3. These past couple episodes been difficult, nigga. It ain't been shit besides Dragon Ball Diamond. It's only so much we can talk about that shit.
Only so much.
Only so much. But
I'm just saying, y'all need to tap into Sakamoto days. I'm just saying, there's more content for us to talk about.
It is. It's good. It's good.
Because, yo, son, Boyle, this man a whole nother man.
I gotta rewatch that joint. Yet. I haven't fully. Wasn't really able to see the full fight that they had, but the nigga looked like he had the crazy backstory. I ain't gonna lie,
bruh. It wasn't real.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
All I know is my man's like his abilities is ridiculous. My man used angles to take his opponents down. That's what I'm like, oh. But it's setting up for this next episode coming next Saturday, where let's just say the
don't be spoiling shit, nigga.
The chains are off. That's all I gotta say. The chains are off.
Thank you.
Okay. I do have one question for y'all. We could be quick about it too. There was a like a kind of like a rumor or a leak that the Russo brothers would also be coming back for more than just these
yeah.
Avengers movies. How do y'all feel about that?
I'm happy about it. I'm good.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with it, but I kind of want to see some different direction with the mutant saga.
I can see that.
Like, I understand. Like, I don't want the mutants to come in and then you have a mutant that acts like Drax, someone that acts like Thor, somebody that like I want.
Well, that's James Gunn.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm saying,
YTT.
I want all these mutants. Like bro, they're mutants. They've been going through the most out of anybody. It's going to be a lot of philosophical shit for this movie. That I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure of the Russos' track record, but I mean, they
did the first Infinity Saga.
Yeah, what other movies did they do though?
Nah, those were the only, and the Avengers movies, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they introduced more drama.
Yeah,
than
like,
other directors.
Yeah.
I think they're able to encapsulate on the higher stakes in the bigger movies. Like, that's why Infinity War and Endgame was so fucking good, because he was able to teeter the line between the two type of thing. And I don't think it's going to be every movie, from the leak at least, or the rumor. I don't think it's going to be every movie. It's just going to be probably like the bigger ones, the ones that have the higher stakes type of thing. So I could see
X-Men
type shit. Avengers type of thing. I can see why they got them for those bigger movies, and then have like your Ryan Coogler's on the side doing some other ones, like a Storm movie, Cyclops.
You know what they need to bring in?
Who?
Zack Snyder.
That's what I've been saying. I would love to see Zack Snyder.
Bro, give that the way Watchmen looked and was directed. If you give Zack Snyder an X-Men comic and say use these panels,
it'll look just like a.
And they develop because they got to develop the story more. Zack's storytelling isn't the best. Like his ideas are a little too wacky.
Yeah, but Marvel isn't the worst at getting good story writers.
You're right, but I'm saying like because a lot of directors want, I want this and this and this. Like give Zack Snyder a good writer. Like, we got to keep the drama and keep the stakes high. I really just want him for the action and all of that too, for real.
I just seen something from Screen Rant. They said Zack Snyder would be perfect for the World War Hulk movie. And
something like that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Just realized that shit would be absolutely
like
crazy.
Nigga, do you know what they told him about Man of Steel? They said that it was, besides the destruction, he had a scene in the movie that they had to cut with the Kryptonians that came down to get Superman. He dropped them off at the Great Wall of China, and they was destroying shit across the world. They was like, yeah, you got too much going on, nigga.
This is like, but that's why we watched it, because this is what's gonna happen if Kryptonians came down.
You give him a World War Hulk movie with all these characters, and you let him go crazy with Hulk. Fight scenes alone about to be stupid.
And it's before Secret Wars 2, so you could really fuck up the whole entire world and just reboot.
Oh, it's before Secret Wars?
Yeah, it's supposed to. They're supposed to start recording.
I thought Secret Wars came out next year.
Doomsday comes out next year.
Yeah.
Secret Wars comes out the year following, if I'm not mistaken.
Doomsday comes out next year. What movie do we have leading up for Doomsday?
Fantastic Four this year. We got Thunderbolts. We got Captain
Spider-Man
America.
is supposed to be after Doomsday.
Spider-Man is supposed to be after Doomsday, and Doomsday is going to push the story supposedly of Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man film.
Yeah, World War Hulk. Get that shit to Zack Snyder,
boy.
But I really want to see like X-Men movies. Like, I don't know. I just want to see them more on like what's that Christopher Nolan movie, bro? Inception.
Okay.
Right. Like, I just want to see a lot of like the high stakes, the high energy shit. Like, we already got like some forms of Inception with the Doctor Strange movies and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, it's the X-Men, nigga. Like, come on.
I get that. I do get that. Just more tense, like high octane intenseness.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
because I mean that's what you get with them in the comic books.
Y'all hear it first on this show. If they hire that goofy ass nigga that did them Thor movies to do X-Men, so help me God.
Taika Waititi is never coming back to the Marvel.
If he touches
he's
an
not
X-Men
going
character, I don't give a damn if it's Squirrel Girl. I will choke that nigga.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that.
He said, "I'll chuck that nigga."
They one thing that they do try to do both with DC and Marvel is they try to find people who kind of like outside of what DC is doing now, but they try to find people that kind of like match the style. Whereas with Marvel, it's more. They do that with Marvel as well, but Marvel takes more liberties. Like them going and getting Sam Raimi again for Spider-Man. It's like I think that was to me at least that was more like a ballsy decision, just because it's like even though we know that he's done it successfully and it's been something where like it really kind of gave a great feel and the atmosphere and everything was incredible from the original Spider-Mans that he did. For the MCU, it was a little ballsy to me just for like the direction that everything was going. So I don't know, but they do generally seem to try to find outside of YTT that outside of YTT, because as love or hate James Gunn did fit the feel of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like when you think about the comic book, he did fit the vibe and feel of that.
Yeah, he did.
The Russos handling things like the Iron Man stuff, the Captain America stuff, and the Infinity Saga, and as well as at the Avengers movie, they have more of that drama feel to them. And when you look at those comic books, they have more of that drama feel to them. So I feel like when whatever they do decide to do for the X-Men, I do think that they will try to look at more of the sentiments and feelings and emotions that's drawn on from the comic book. So whether it's the Russo brothers or it's not the Russo brothers, I think they really will look. I agree with you, D. It would be great if they could get Zack Snyder, because Zack Snyder does feel that drama feel.
And you know what's crazy? I just thought about this with him feeling like the drama and all that. All his movies, like the costume design is always top tier.
Perfect.
Like he not gonna have the X-Men in fucking leather cargos going around New York.
He gonna make sure they look like how they supposed to look too. If they were to get another Wolverine, he would be like Henry Cavill.
Yes. And he, like you said, he does do the drama well. And it's like, bro, like I don't know. There's other directors out there, but I just like his directing style as far as action and action sequences and things of that nature. And I feel like, you know what was different with the X-Men? I feel like you have so many different elements that you can build from. Like you have the team dynamic, obviously. You have action, you have adventure, but you also have like horror, you know?
Yeah.
Like, bro, these niggas have wings growing out their back. They have people that are with blue skin that can teleport. Like, granted, we have aliens and all that, but all these aliens seem to be like throwaway cannon fodder aliens just for certain fight scenes. Like when you really dive into it, like X-Men movie can really touch on every single genre.
It can. And here's the thing. That's why I like, even when something isn't a success, I think studios should look at what came out before it, even if it isn't a success. Because if you notice, Warner Brothers started to realize that it just was too late. And they weren't getting the best people to write stories behind it. But remember, right before Marvel got the rights back, or 21st Century Fox, whatever one it was that had X-Men, right before they got the rights back, they did a horror movie for the X-Men. They did a straight up, it was a straight up horror movie. So I think that they started to see that, and that's where Marvel needs to understand, okay, what they started to do, we need to start with, but we need to do better. And if they were to do that, to your point, Nino, they would be able, that would be the smart thing to do, would be able to look at the X-Men from every genre. Did the Agatha series tell us that they get that? You can make an argument, because we did get an X-Men in the Agatha series. So did they start to see where they could use those characters in different ways? Maybe. I hope so. I hope we do see evolution with that. And I agree. X-Men is perfect.
Which X-Men character did we get in Agatha?
Y'all got mad at me the last time I said it.
What?
Death?
No. Wiccan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know. Maybe Marvel does see the opportunity and possibility. I hope they do, because I do agree with Nino. It's such X-Men, it should be like a slam dunk because of that. Just that one principle, the fact that it can carry every genre.
Yo, and with if they bring in the X-Men, I don't know if they're gonna do it like they're part of that Fantastic Four universe, or if they got their own part of their own universe or whatever. But like, do you feel like they should bring in a new Charles Xavier, or should they have it like X-Men 97, where it's like you've got like Cyclops leading the team, you've got Wolverine, Storm, and I feel like that takes off, that builds more character for the younger.
I think they should interpolate both aspects, but I also think that they should get the newer X-Men comics, where I believe Professor X has the X helmet.
He's gone. He's gone right now.
Oh, he's gone right now? Damn, I thought he was still there. Or at least the recent ones where he had, because they had Krakoa, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. And he had the whole helmet on. He could actually walk, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he looked more like
Cyclops a little bit.
Ultimate. No, he really looked like, what's the Ultimate Reed Richards? Ultimate Universe.
The Maker?
The Maker. That's what he looked. Yeah, he looked a lot like the Maker. Which I do agree. That would be great to give us a spin where he's in that helmet and we get him walking. Something different from wheelchair Xavier.
And I think those stories, I think the main thing that I'm concerned about real quick, and then we could end off the episode with the X-Men, is I don't know if, and y'all could probably, because I can't remember the first couple of X-Men movies. None of these X-Men movies, they were really fighting humans, were they? They're most of the time fighting mutants.
Yeah, they're always fighting other mutants.
Other mutants, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that they missed on a huge story plot within the X-Men characters, and that's their fight with mankind. That's their
and it's such
constant
a big part
fight with them. It's such a huge part of their whole entire story. Most of the time, they're not fighting other mutants; they're fighting people, human beings, because they're creating sentinels, or they're creating all these other different things, or you have fucking humans working with other mutants, which I guess is part of the X-Men as well. They fight mutants, but at the same time, I hope that they at least hone in on the human aspect, the human element, and how they are such at odds with each other, and actually show that devastation from the mutant side. Show Genosha fucking almost get obliterated, almost show all of the X-Men mutants or all of the mutants get obliterated from the world. Actually show them like that. And I think that's why they got fucking what's their face, the Russo brothers, because I think they're going for it all type of thing. They're going for it all.
If they I guess they are just going to use Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine and not bring in somebody new. But I was going to say, do you think they should already have X-Men established in the MCU and have it be like this joint where it's like the government just been keeping tabs on them and like been trying to eradicate them, or should it be as like another universe?
A Fallout.
I think with the reboot, they will have already been established, because I think Secret Wars is going to introduce them to the main Marvel characters, the main MCU characters. If I'm pretty sure some of them are already introduced to them, if I'm not mistaken, but I have to double check again. But I think they're just going, once they reboot, once quote unquote they snap their fingers and everything turns back to normal, all of these characters will have already been placed down in Earth. And then at that point in time, they will act like they've already been existing this whole entire time. Only a select few amount of people will actually know what transpired in the multiverse and how it was collapsing and all of this shit. Just like in the actual Secret Wars comics, I think Mr. Fantastic and his son were the only two people that remember, and possibly Doctor Doom, since he had the Beyonders powers. Okay. But I think those are the only three. But yeah, I think they're going to start off with them. They're already going to have them. They might do the X-Men to show how they all come together type of thing, and probably the beginning of that, since it'll be a new universe for them. But I think
I just got to see more. Yeah, I just got to see more play out.
Yeah,
I can see what Sage is saying though. Just bring them in like that, where it's just kind of like they've been here for everyone else, for the majority of everyone who knows. Kind of like what happened, kind of like what happened with Spider-Man, where it's just kind of like, all right, he like letting everybody know who he is, and this whole Mysterio thing happened. Now everybody, like now really everybody knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we don't really need to have that anymore. So let's just snap it to where nobody knows who he is. They do something like an inverse for the X-Men, where it's like, okay, they weren't here, but we don't really need to touch that anymore. So let's just snap it so that they're all here. I could see that, but I just need to see more.
Or because I don't mean to go over time, but I'm just trying to think, because having them be from another universe is like, okay, we get it. But I think if you on some true power scale and shit, like have Professor X, like every major mutant event, he can just mind wipe niggas. Like let's say like after Iron Man created Ultron, and Ultron was like, you have imperfections with, you have mutants, this and this, and it's never mentioned or something. And it's like, now you got Ultron bots hunting down people with mutations or some shit like that. And it's like Professor X to keep mutants safe. It's like, I have to mind wipe niggas just so they don't remember that we here. So we have to operate in secrecy now. So it's like the past, let's say like the past, since 2015 it came out, let's say like the past 10 years, mutants been here, but people had like, there's been events with mutants, but people just don't recall them type shit.
That is pretty smart.
I like that. And that reminds me of what they did with the Skrulls, which is also why I like that, because it's like that part didn't get done really well. So they would get a second opportunity to do that part. It was a Secret Invasion, right? That was with the Skrulls.
Yep.
Yeah, like that. If you took that, but to Nino's point, you take advantage of Professor Xavier's powers, and you have them operate exactly as because that I would rather them instead like just let's forget about the Skrull and the Secret Invasion thing altogether, and just run that back with the mutants. I think it could be done way better and could have it's introducing drama, just how when they did it with the Skrulls, it introduced a level of drama. So you get to reset this approach with the X-Men, and you're introducing them with a story that entices drama with action. Yeah, I like that.
And instead of having their beginning or their origin stories, they can utilize that in order to push the plots of their own individual movies later down the line, like they did with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
it's a strategic type of play. Plus, you start off with a fresh footing type of thing with these characters and not having to retell the same story over and over again type of thing. So,
dang,
I don't know.
You might need to go write that for them.
Right?
I like that.
That'd be cool.
I'm just because then, bro, I'm saying if they do that, that can show like the type of power these mutants have.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd be like, "Yo, Professor X been wiping minds for a minute, been doing this and
it's
that."
Like, whoa.
Bro, and then that gives a new spin on Professor X, because instead of just sitting in a chair and rolling around, you think, oh, he just read 2 or 3 minds. Like, no, he went to Cerebro and mind wiped the whole world. Everybody. Type shit.
Yeah, that's like he is a threat. Like you, like okay, and he isn't even necessarily the most threatening, right? But to show him that way and him to be that much of a threat, and he's not even the most threatening. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now the mutants going to the point that you was making before, and like T just said, now they look scary. You know, that's really intimidating and that's really scary. So you could do a lot with that and then make them this force where it's kind of like how everybody always feel about the Hulk, where it's like, can you trust him really? Like he's so dangerous, there's so much power. Even if you're friendly, can you trust him to have?
And on the political side too, because you think world leaders like the U.S. has people that can read minds. Like let's say they get our secrets. Like whose side are they on? Let's say they get their own. Like they get Genosha, that little island. The mutants go there. They be like, "Yo, so what are they planning? Like whose mind are they reading? All of this, before all this and that shit." But in one comic, Professor X sends Wolverine out to kill this one dude to put a mutant down, because when he looks at people, they like explode, like their faces explode. Like that's his mutant ability. But the thing is, like Professor X is like, Logan, like there's nothing we can do for him, this and this. So Wolverine is like, goes and finds a kid in the cave, and he's like, I can feel like my body like burning up on the inside, like this is what he's doing to people, this and this. And then it shows Wolverine coming out of the cave, like after putting him down. So it's like, yo, like imagine the movie start off like that. Like you got Wolverine putting down a fellow mutant, because now it's like, this could give us a bad rap. We don't need this. We don't need that. Now you look at Professor X in a whole different light. I don't know. They should do something like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Last thing, real quick. Cyclops needs to be more militant as well. That's all. That's all.
They made him more militant in X-Men
In the
in
comics.
97.
Yeah, most definitely. They made him more militant and overall in the comics too. I hope they keep up with that though.
Bro, think about it though. If Captain America flop, which look like is going to be the case, based off everything that we see with the reception already towards the character.
That's just a couple white people. It's
maybe the reception though. That's because I mean, Black Panther did a bill and it was good, but it's like the more I think about it, like we've been seeing the same scenes from Captain America, the same flying scene over the ocean, the same shit with Red Hulk. We didn't really get too much. We got a little bit of the leader, but it's like, bro, if this movie is actually good, they got to eat.
It'll be different. It'll be if it's good. I think that'll help propel the understanding of him as Captain America and possibly better the movies. But if it's bad, that's what I'm trying to say. Is if it's bad,
yeah,
Cyclops is perfect to be the one. Like you next, come on, you are new Captain America.
Yes,
I'm weak.
It sucks, but it's the truth.
I think Cap is gonna blow our minds.
I hope so. I really want it to be good. I'm still excited about it.
I think it will. I think they're keeping a whole lot of shit tucked to the chest. They haven't shown the true villain. They haven't shown the mastermind, the leader yet. At least I think good movies don't have to show everything to get everybody enticed. They showed exactly what they showed us, and I feel like it got enough niggas enticed. Either you're enticed or you're upset. And regardless,
releasing 8 minutes of some bullshit.
Emotions make you spend that money. So regardless if you're angry or not, it's niggas that's gonna be angry about it. And what Anthony Mackie just said recently, and they still gonna spend that money to go see that shit. So we will
imagine being that angry to go spend your money to see some shit that you hope is bad.
Right,
like you sat there 2.5 hours hoping that this shit is bad
just because the captain is black.
That movie come out in less than 2 weeks.
Yep.
Damn.
A lot. We got a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Finally,
and we already in the middle of other things too. It does. It feels good.
Yep.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
Like think about this. On the 14th, you're gonna get Solo Leveling, Invincible, a new Marvel movie, Spider-Man. It's been a long time since that's been the case.
Good God Almighty, man!
None but content.
We getting in the golden age. But yet again, we appreciate y'all for stopping on by. Shout out to I can't remember Buddy's name that
Tyler Vicious.
Earlier. Yep. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for stopping on by.
Thank you, Tyler Vicious.
It's a squad, Nero. It's your humble host, as always, Sage. We got Croco as well on all podcast platforms. Type in Croco's Corner. You're gonna get all sorts of stuff that you can tap into with this podcast, from history to anime as well, or mental maintenance. We got Nasty Nino, the Don himself in the building, and we got T Smooth. Obviously, you can check us out at twitch.tv/Smooth Entertainment, where he also plays a variety of different games. Again, thank y'all again. Tap in with the YouTube as well, Squad Nero 716. We will tap in with y'all next week with the Invincible, and possibly this week with the intermission for that Fantastic Four trailer. We appreciate y'all as always. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week. Peace.